Hey everyone, Melanie Nelson here, serial entrepreneur, businesswoman, international trainer and speaker. I'm just sitting here in the beautiful woods of Minnesota and enjoying some downtime, just a little downtime in between all kinds of exciting things going on. And I post a lot of motivational type of things, strategies, how-tos on my social media accounts. And one of the things that was said to me was, sometimes I read your posts and they make me feel guilty about what I'm not doing. And I'm like, wow, that's really fascinating. Because when you understand what guilt is, no one can actually make you feel guilty. Guilty is an internal thing. When you have a compass between your belief system and your actions. And when your belief system and your actions are incongruent, then you will feel guilt. And that really only happens on the inside. So for instance, I'm posting about doing more, becoming unstoppable, and strategies, how to overcome overwhelm, how to, take the first step forward, things like that. So I'm posting, and when someone sees that and feels guilty about what they're not doing in their business or in their life to move them closer towards their goals, chances are their actions are not congruent with where they want to go, right? So there's not enough action happening. There might be some talk, there might be some thinking about it, there might be some planning, but the action isn't happening. And therefore, instead of feeling motivated by my post, you're feeling guilty because you're looking inward going, oh my gosh, yes and yes and yes, I agree, but I am not taking those actions. So the belief system and the actions are incongruent. And the dangerous thing about guilt is that it can be a payoff and it can be an excuse not to change. So if I feel guilty, then I'm whipping my back, right? Like I'm paying the penance for not changing. And therefore I don't have to change the belief system, or I don't have to change the actions, or in this case, inactions. Right? And so what does that mean? So you could have a belief system operating subconsciously that I can't be a great mother and a career woman and be very successful at both. So maybe there's a subconscious belief system operating. So every time you're with the kids, you're thinking, gosh, I really should be dedicating some time to my business, and I haven't been doing that. And then every time you're dedicating time to your business or your career, you're feeling guilty for not being with the kids. And so guilt is showing up as an incongruence between the belief system. Now, we know in this day and age you can be a fabulous mom and a career woman. So then we know in that scenario the belief has to change, right? The belief that's operating in the background that's creating guilt, that's what needs to change. Now, if you believe that you can be a great career woman and a great mother, but you're not taking the action, the guilt is there because you're not taking the action, right? So that's what needs to change. So anytime you feel guilt, you just have to go, okay, what's incongruent here? Do I need to change the action or inaction, or do I need to change the belief system that's operating? This is where really high-level coaching, mentoring, and people who've been where you're at and going where you're going or been there, and I've already arrived, so to say, those people can really help you through these types of kind of mental blocks. But the worst thing you can do is placate yourself with guilt, because guilt is the payoff for not changing. Guilt is the payoff for not changing. And something needs to change if you want different results. The belief system or the action or inaction, right? So, you could do this with overeating. You could do this with, anything that generates guilt is an incongruency. Okay. And then you go, okay, in order for me not to feel guilty anymore, I need to change something. And again, the trap is that guilt will keep you the same. So, oh, I'm paid my penance, right? I'm bearing the cross of guilt, but nothing freaking changes. So be careful. Guilt is a big wah, wah, wah warning sign that something needs to change, and get to it.